My name is Daniela Sevilla, and today I'm going to be talking about Toyota Motor Sales. So, today I provided a brief table of contents. The first thing that we're going to be talking about is a brief introduction to Toyota Motor Sales. Secondly, we're going to be discussing some human relations theories, which primarily are going to be Maslow's hierarchy of needs, Douglas McGregor's Theory X and Theory Y, and also Henry Fayol's 14 Principles of Management. Next, we're going to be discussing any communication issues that Toyota has faced over the years, or ways that they have used communication to better the company. Also, we're going to be discussing some intercultural relationships and any cultural barriers that they have faced, and also some ethical issues and some final thoughts about the company. A little bit about the company. It was founded in 1933 by an individual named Kiichiro Toyota. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, and I'm sorry about all the mispronunciations. But basically, it was founded in 1933, like I said, but it was primarily first a division of an automatic loom company, which was a wood manufacturing business. But what started Toyota's first spark of mass production for vehicles was the war with China. That was what immediately caused the automobile production, because they needed vehicles. They needed vehicles during that time, and also the company has faced a lot of ups and a lot of downs, which is something that I wanted to talk about in the beginning of this presentation, just because with any business you face a lot of ups and a lot of downs, but it's how you learn from them in order to succeed and in order to see the company prosper to the best of its abilities. So obviously Toyota is still a number one selling automobile manufacturer, and also they have learned a great deal from all the ups and the downs that they have faced throughout the years. So next is going to be our discussion of the human relations theories. So Maslow's hierarchy of needs is basically a tier. First at the top is going to be like the self-fulfillment needs, and at the very, very bottom it's going to be the physiological needs, which are going to be consistent of like food, water, rest, safety, sleep, and things like that. But at the top is going to be one's achievement of their own like self-potential. So Toyota is a great example of these needs because they provide a great number of secure jobs for all of their employees. Also, their employees are very, very well paid, and they have a multitude of facilities that they provide for all of their employees, so that everyone can benefit from that, not just the person that's very at the bottom, or not the person that's very at the top. Everybody is going to be given a chance to take advantage of these facilities. And lastly, something that's very important is the environment is very welcoming, and it's a positive environment to be in, which only makes sense that they are a successful company, because when you are running a major company like Toyota Motor Sales, something that you want to keep in mind is the fact that your employees are happy. They want to produce the best numbers as possible. They want to produce the best vehicles as possible. They want to keep generating innovative ideas, working as a team and collaborating in order to see the company fully successful as they can be. Next, I want to discuss Douglas McGregor's Theory X and Theory Y, which Toyota completely follows Theory Y. They don't follow Theory X whatsoever. Theory X is more talking about how the individual is not wanting to go to work. For example, the first thing I could think of is a teenager when they have their first job and they're like, oh, I don't need this job. It doesn't make me happy. I'm not even doing what I want to do. I'm just not going to show up today. That's something that Theory X would involve, like the attitude that would be involved with Theory X. But Toyota completely follows Theory Y because the job is completely satisfying for all of their employees, and because of this satisfying effect, the company's employees wants to provide as much success as possible. So just to briefly discuss Henry Fayol's theory, they are 14 principles of management, but I briefly touched on three during this PowerPoint and also in my essay. Um, Toyota wants to completely build a culture in order to have the quality set right the first time and the first time only, so that the quality is there and there's no lack in quality, especially when it's just a mass-producing vehicle production company. Nextly, they use reliable and tested technology, which is very important in an automobile industry, because if they have improper technology and if it's not tested, that's what causes a lot of recalls. That's what causes a lot of defects in the vehicle. Which, when you're paying thousands and thousands of dollars for a vehicle that you want to last many, many years, you don't want to see any of this. So the fact that Toyota has a stable foundation in the technology aspect of their company is very important. And lastly, the organization continues to improve and continues to base their success on that improvement, which is very important as well, because if the company continues to improve, then they continue to see more success. And also that means that they're learning from any of their mistakes and learning from their improvements and growing. This is communication. So every business needs proper communication. And with this communication, a large and respectful team is very necessary. So when you are working with a team, it's very important to communicate, because if person A doesn't tell person B what's going on and person C just assumes that they have all their stuff together and they really don't, it can just fall apart very, very quickly. Also, Toyota does deal with many intercultural relationships. Like I said, they are a Japanese company, so the intercultural relationships are very important, especially when they're working with other countries overseas. But that goes into a lot of cultural barriers that they face, just because when you're talking with somebody, the way you talk, the way you use your hands, the way you make eye contact. If you don't make eye contact, little things could affect the relationship in such a either positive or negative way. So it's very important to respect any cultural barriers that the company may face, which they do very well. And because of this, they have a great and rewarding learning experience. Something to keep in mind, and something that I learned when doing research on this company, is that their decision-making process is very slow. So that can affect the business, and that can affect any possible consumers and any potential customers. Just because usually the public wants things now, or when they hear about it, they want it now, and they don't want to waste no time. But it's just something that the United States and other nations do have to keep in mind, is that the Japanese culture just tends to give answers very slow. And something else that I found interesting was that the Japanese culture is very group oriented. So not just one person is going to be thinking of the innovative ideas. It's going to be a team effort, which I also touched about in the communication aspect of the presentation. Is going to be some ethical issues that Toyota has faced over the years, which the big and main ethical issue that I saw with Toyota is a big portion of recalls. Toyota faces huge ethical issues and business ethics because of the recalls. They have millions of recalls over the years, and this is basically pushing the limits of their quality control. Toyota is very big on quality. However, when it comes to these recalls, they tend to let little things slip through the cracks. For example, one of the recalls was sticky gas pedals. which may seem insignificant, but when these gas pedals get stuck or anything like that, it can cause the car to malfunction in a great way and cause some major accidents. And because of these ethical issues, the public tends to, when I was doing my research, they tend to easily forget just because they love the vehicle so much. The big one was Prius, so a lot of customers left their feedback, and they love their vehicles very much. However, they don't forget the fact that that the vehicle that they love had a lot of defects when they got it. So lastly, some final thoughts. Toyota has overcome numerous challenges over the years, and even, like I said, even a lot of recalls, but they still have integrated themselves as a part of American society in a very positive way. Northern America alone has over 10, I believe it's 11 Toyota manufacturing companies, which is incredible. And also they continue to produce over 2 million vehicles per year, which is also a very big accomplishment. So Toyota continues to do things well. They continue to do things in a very positive way. There are some learning aspects that they have to divulge into a little bit, but overall, the company itself is going to continue to see growing success over the years. And here are a page of my references, and that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.